Welcome to Stirred Up.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Heather.
We're two Midwest corporate pros and moms juggling boardrooms by day and ballparks by night.
But here, it's happy hour, and we're trading conference rooms for craft beer. This season, expect more tea spilling and real talk.
About the important stuff and the bullshit that comes with it. This is our version of Girls Night Out.
And you're not just invited, you're our VIP. It's where we throw back, talk smack, and laugh until we pee.
Where we spill a little, spin a little, and overshare a lot.
Because the only rail we're staying on is the bar rail. So grab a drink, you little party animal.
And let's get this shit stirred up.
Oh, my mammogram is negative.
Yay! Cheers!
And
That
my
was
doctor
so
actually
fast.
okay, so remind me of 1, 2, 3. Was the doctor supposed to call me? It's supposed to get uploaded in the portal, right?
Maybe, but I think what she was emphasizing, the first communication I think was like not that.
But was the doctor supposed to call you with your first communication?
I didn't capture that. What I felt like she was emphasizing was that if you have a follow-up, it's okay. And even if you have a third follow-up, it's good. And they're going to do a biopsy and they will always call you on that.
Welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Stirred Up.
Welcome to Stirred Up.
Jessica's stinky because she has no water. Tell him, Mama. Tell him
Yeah.
what happened. We can laugh now, but we were not laughing when we went. No, this is not.
And I mean, like every time that so even when it was like in the worst of it this week and I'm taking a shower at my dad's house, I thought, this is a good time to cry. Just go in here and cry.
She said that. She's like, just cry in here.
And I couldn't really pull it off.
So what happened? Tell the audience what happened, because most people don't even understand what a well is. Like they just turn
I don't
the shit
either.
on.
I really don't either. This is still, we're still in the throes of it, but we're like managing at the moment. So I'll explain where we're at. So on Monday night, I'm giving the kids baths, and obviously like that then kicks on the water pump, which sends, creates pressure, sends water into our holding tank. And we extract that from a well in the ground. Like, I don't really know how those work. They just collect water somehow, the flow of water. Like, I'm going to learn more because we're going to get a new one. But the pump was running, and Matt said it sounded like it was like grinding, and he can hear all these things. I cannot hear anything whatsoever, naturally. So he goes down. Yeah, he goes down in the basement, and it was hot. Like,
what was hot?
The pump, because it's supposed to have water going through it, and it wasn't. So, whatever. I guess it makes it hot. Maybe water's a coolant too, like whatever.
Well, the water comes out of the ground cold, and then the
goes
pipe
through
heats
this.
up, so
Yeah.
the system makes it hot when it comes out the shower. Yeah?
It wasn't the water heater. It was like a water pump. And since there was nothing going through it, it was like,
grinding gears.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he turned that off, just like on the breaker, and then was like, there's no water. And it took some time for me to realize what that meant. And he went out. We have a special kind of well called a crack well. I also really don't know what that means. And he can see in it because it's not super deep. It's like 25, 30 foot deep. And there's nothing in it. There's no water. So I was like, well, there's nothing I can do about it now. I'm just going to read my book. He kept looking at me, like waiting for
A reaction?
I don't know, an answer, a prayer. I don't know. But I said, I'm not even going to lose sleep about this. This is something I'll deal with tomorrow. There's literally nothing. You can't call anybody at 9:00 on a Monday night. Like, there's no answers. Like, just sleep on it. So
did Maddie sleep on it, or did he like start scrolling, calling, or just go to bed?
He did quite a lot of research and was basically like, hey, this is going to be expensive and we'll just figure it out.
What does expensive mean?
We didn't know.
What do you think?
He thought, the number he said was like, this could be like $12,000. And I was like, oh, good. I thought they were more like 20 to 30. He's like, they could be. I think it depends. It does. It depends on how deep they have to drill. And we have no idea until they drill. We called Gates Drilling out of Mount Pleasant, Michigan. They've been beyond phenomenal.
We don't know yet, but perhaps shout out to Gates.
Yeah, like so far, I am relieved to be working with somebody who already feels like they're my friends. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're treating us like they already care about us.
Thank God you have no water.
Yes.
You're camping.
Very empathetic with everything. So they came, they were like, we're just going to bring you some water. Like, we'll bring you a tank of water. So they brought a truck full of water twice. on Tuesday morning. This was Monday night. Tuesday morning rolls around, and I'm thinking like, cool, we'll be saved, temporarily, obviously. They dumped 3,000 gallons of water.
Not 3,000.
3,000 gallons.
33,000.
3,000 gallons of water which is still like an enormous amount of water. And it was gone by the end of the day.
How much water is 3,000 gallons?
Enough to fill the baby up. A fourth of a
fourth.
I still feel like 3,000 gallons to just drain in a day felt like a lot.
It's a lot.
You're right. I thought that was going to get us through the week.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, what we had sitting in our drive, and either there's a crack in the well, which is what I assumed based on that, but then Matt was explaining like, we're in a drought. It's really dry. The water just went back into the earth. Hope to God my hydrangeas got some of that because I don't have any other way to water them.
Are you cleansing your soul like in the river?
Matt filled up 5-gallon pails of river water for anything other than drinking. And we have like bottled water and jugs of water. Family who have water, obviously. So we've done some showers and some laundry and some filling up. But then somebody that we know lent us the tank that you see sitting in our driveway. I'll post pictures.
That's what I was when I saw you on Thursday. I'm like, when's somebody bringing you your clear tank?
So we thought we weren't going to need it, but we do. So friends lent us the tank, and we filled it up at my dad's house and trailered it over here. And then Matt had hooked it up to a hose and fitted it to directly like right into the house system. So that's what's feeding going through the stuff. And then when we're like we've used about a third of it in he did that last night. So it's also going kind of quick, but he's taken I think he enjoyed a shower today. I think he wasn't.
He's like, fuck this.
Yeah. And he's like, do laundry, do whatever you need to do. And so I'm like, it's in the back of my mind, but I am sort of kind of running.
If it runs out, you will get more.
Yeah. It takes an hour to fill up at my dad's. And so we'll have a drink with my dad and
Get your water and
or whoever. We'll go to anybody's house.
You're glamping.
Yeah. You're glamping. So whatever, we'll figure it out.
On Thursday, she's like, I'm going to go home on Friday. I'm going to clean my house with river water. And I'm like, we're going to need to boil that. And you were like, okay, we'll boil.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't. And this is city water, but it still isn't a tank. So we're not drinking it. We're still drinking bottled water just out of precautions, but it's a pretty low risk, I would think. I don't know. So we have a tank of water. I think that's probably 500 gallons sitting up there. We have a tank of water sitting in our driveway on a trailer. And we're low-key operational. When I went to go take a shower at my dad's and I went running and stuff, I just worked from there on Friday. My internet was out here. I was seriously
she had a tire blown out, the internet was out, and she had no water.
Do you want
we had a mammogram.
Yeah. When people share the meme that's do you want to know my real personality? Just have slow internet. Yeah. No. I'm pushed to the limits here. This is why I look the way that I look.
If her Wi-Fi goes down, she's had enough. She can take no water, no car.
Yeah. Fucking
all
out.
the things.
But I drive up to my dad's to be saved, and there's a tree down on a line that I'm positive is the cable line, and I can see Spectrum. I'm like, motherfuckers, But turns out he did have internet, thank God. I didn't use and it ended up being fine. I just mostly used his wash, but in a shower.
So when you live in the city, if it's between the house and the sidewalk, you own the property.
Oh, yeah.
If it's between the sidewalk and the road, the city owns it, but you're required to maintain it. The other day I was walking down my road with my dog, and I had been working a lot, so I haven't been paying attention to the details because, I'm a detail person. And I'm walking down my road, and I see this large, yellow submarine tank in my front corner of my yard. It's maybe a foot off the ground.
Yeah.
And maybe 3 foot wide and a foot and a half or 2 feet wide. This little submarine tank.
Uh-huh.
And I never have noticed that tank before. I knew that there was something metal there, but I'd never noticed it before. And I thought, that's interesting. Looks like I have lived here for 6 years, and I would notice if there was a 1 by 3 by 1.5 inch metal tank in my front yard. I would have painted it, covered it up, bitched about it.
What was it? Was it new? We don't know. It's a mystery.
Consumers came to my house, even though I didn't have a problem on my property, not the piece between the sidewalk and the road, the piece between the sidewalk and my house.
Oh.
And I had a large boxwood plant.
They touched
They
that?
fucking cut it, Jessica. And the base of it was that big. That's how big of it was. Like, we're not talking some little plant. They cut a plant out of my front yard and then dug it into the dirt between me and my neighbor's house.
Jeez.
I picked it up out of the ground. I go, I'll tell you what. Where I come from, you bring a chainsaw on somebody else's property, and
yeah, those are grounds for
and you weren't invited to the party. That is fucked up.
I mean, that's vandalism.
Now what? I'm gonna
Yeah.
plant a bigger bush in front of it and bitch about it on my podcast.
And boxwoods grow fast. So.
Kinda. Not at my house. They don't. The
Oh,
boxwood
really?
and no.
It's really well shaded there, I guess. I don't know. Things are wild at the houses right now, for sure.
Also, today my boys played tennis. We didn't grow up a tennis family. My mom watched. We talked
Yeah,
about
so
this
they're on the same team. Like, how does tennis work?
They have singles, where it's like you versus another team.
Okay.
Or doubles, 2 versus 2.
Okay.
My boys are doubles partners,
Oh, okay, cool.
as they do. I'm joking because we never played tennis before.
Yeah.
Like, we never, ever.
I'm a huge advocate, even though, like, I don't really know what I'm looking at when I see. It's an exciting game to watch.
You think so?
It's going boom, boom. I've never watched children play.
Oh.
I only watched, like, the pros at the
That's exciting.
tennis center, you know, when they come to town and you can get drinks and stuff. Like,
I've never been to that.
oh my God. Like, they make it a big event. And I really feel like we should get you there
I
with
want
them.
to go.
Yeah. Anyways, they get like boom, boom, boom. And then people are like, you watch everybody's heads,
Yeah.
which I think is really funny.
That's what we did today. That's good.
I think it's so great. Everybody knows what's going on except for me. So I just clap when they clap, or they go, oh, and I go, oh, like I'm the echo in the room. But I don't know. I just think it's really enjoyable, and I don't mind being ignorant to it. But it's a lifelong sport, which I think is great.
In other sports, you can get excited when other people make mistakes. In tennis, you have to be quiet. So
The tennis culture
very
is so
positive.
sweet.
Positive culture. But to keep score, like I kind of understand
Yeah.
why it's a sport for the privileged, because you almost have to be raised a rocket scientist.
I was going to say that. Like, you have to be
figure out
super
who-
smart. You can't be dumb. You almost have to be raised a rocket
Which we
scientist.
sit here and like, we're so smart, and we're on the spectrum, and we're this, and we're that. And I watch tennis, and I'm like, motherfucker, I don't know.
I think it's because I don't want
know
to.
if we're winning. I try. My mother explains it, though, and I'm like, Mom, either you cannot explain anything or you're speaking to me like I got a full ride to Harvard. Like, I have no idea what you're saying. Love, deuce, match, set. She keeps going, game, set, match. Game, set, match. I'm like,
What does that even mean?
there's 6 matches in a game or 6 games in a match.
I know. There's the whole thing.
You gotta win by whatever, and
I can't figure it out.
that's why people play sports that's why simple people like ourselves play sports where it's like 1 for 1. Even in basketball, like it's 1 for a free throw. You're right there. 2 for anything, you know.
It's pretty simple. It's like the most complex of all the sports that we watch.
Tennis is like why you should pay attention in math in high school.
Football was a little bit of a mind fuck for me for a while.
I was with Taylor Swift. I'm still with Taylor Swift. I'm like, why is the offense not against the offense? Like, what's happening here?
Wait, what? No, I heard what she said, but I don't think that's what she said.
She did. She thought the 2 quarterbacks were out there against each other.
Oh, yeah.
That would mean offense versus offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no quarterback on defense.
No, I know. I get
That's
it.
what she was saying. She said,
Yeah.
why are...
I know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I wasn't registering. See, it's hard.
I knew I had a mammogram, which was an incredible amount of anxiety, and I'm almost a year behind. So, which is naughty. I'm a naughty, naughty lady.
I mean,
It's fine.
yeah.
It's fine because it's fine.
You're not supposed, yeah, you're within your first year. Like, I gave you a hard time about it being funny. Like, I wasn't real. Like, I was just giving you a hard time.
Though, she goes, you can get your new mammogram, like...
In a couple months. Is that what she said, the girl?
I don't remember.
No, it's a year and a day apart. So now your next one you can't do any sooner than.
Yeah.
But you did it within your first year. That's exactly the guidelines.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it like you turn 40, all of a sudden that's a magic number. Like, that's just an insurance number.
So I did what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, you did what you're supposed to do.
Knocked it out.
Exactly. Like,
I will tell
it.
you, ladies, I will tell you, it was not bad. Out of all the things I've done in my life as a woman, I would count that like a 1.5.
On a scale, okay, so like, would you rather get a mammogram or get a pap smear? I fucking hate a pap smear, by the way. Like, I can handle it, but it's so...
It's not even a fair fucking question.
Why? I'm going to ask you, like, non-medical... I want to do this for, like, let's do rapid fire.
If my fucking shoulder wasn't frozen, I would say a mammogram because my shoulder hurt for that first 3 minutes. It felt like someone was stabbing me in my shit.
It was only 30 seconds.
She said 3 minutes.
The whole thing was 3 minutes. You were kind of chit-chatty, so it was a little bit longer than 3 minutes, but she said the whole thing ended up we can do in 3 minutes.
Get me the fuck
Because it was
out of
30
this place.
seconds every single
Jessica
pose.
and I pulled in and I was like, everybody here looks like they're dying. Literally.
They're at a hospital. And we were like, yeah. But then we got into the mammogram section, and it was really lovely.
It was lovely.
Beautiful aesthetics. There's like a nice little waterfall. The whole building's new. They have really pretty flower
The candy
art.
stripe women were gorge. Love.
The staff was fantastic. The process was really good. There was no wait. Like, I thought we were going to be sitting in the waiting room.
Get your mammogram. But it threw me off. I'm still recovering.
Would you rather get a mammogram or wait in the airport for 8 hours?
Oh, the airport. There's alcohol there. And shopping and music and the Delta Lounge.
Oh,
interesting people. Generally, my husband or my work friends or my kids. Like, I can make it in the airport. Airport doesn't trust me out at all.
Okay. Well, it's annoying for 8 hours. Like, I feel trapped. when I'm in
Airport
an
over
for 8 hours.
mammogram. Keep asking me. That's funny. About that.
Would you rather get a mammogram or take care of, like, have to handle the rooster that we had to get rid of?
Mammogram.
That rooster was a bitch.
He tried to attack you guys and kill your daughter. At that point, I was like, fry him. I mean, what do you do?
Get a mammogram or go at least a week without water in your house.
Get a mammogram every day. 3 times an hour.
Would you rather get a mammogram or eat moldy bread?
Get a mammogram.
Okay, cheers. We're getting a fucking mammogram.
We're getting mammograms. That's what we're
not
saying.
that bad.
It's not that bad. Would you rather get a mammogram or watch your own kids? Get a mammogram.
That's funny.
Would you rather get a mammogram or cook dinner? Get a mammogram.
Amen. That's even better. Those aren't even hard. Those are not hard things.
Like, would you rather get a mammogram or work? I'd rather work. Would you rather get a mammogram or record this podcast? I'd rather record the podcast. Would you rather get a mammogram or, you know what, honestly, would you rather get a mammogram or get a pedicure? I think I'd get a mammogram, get out of there faster.
Fucking hate
They all smell the same to me.
I hate getting nails done, honestly. It's not my jam.
It's terrible. Mm-hmm. Fucking terrible. People are like, I'm going to get my nails done. I'm like,
Sucks to be you.
If I have 3 hours in a day, I do it for spring break. Yeah. Put that shellac on, and then takes my nails another 11 months to recover from the 1 month they wanted to look cute.
The last time I got my toes done was when I was big and pregnant with Clay, and it was
You and Tara got our toes
really
done
good.
one time too.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Maybe.
And then
It's not relaxing for me.
no,
Unless you're gonna serve me wine.
So yeah, and something like that, I could make a case because then it's more about the experience together. But if I'm there to get a job done otherwise, and I don't like my feet touched, and I'm very ticklish. Like, I really am.
It's interesting you say that. For me, a pedicure is like a job done. It's not a luxury. It's a job done.
Yeah.
I got them dogs piled up.
And thank God I can still reach my feet.
You have to get those dogs piled up or polished up before you go up to the water park.
I paint my own. Do you normally paint your own? Or go unpolished? Mine are unpolished.
The older
right now,
I
but they
get,
need it.
like when I used to be in my 20s and saw people with their toenails unpolished, I used to be like, I give up on life. Like, these people are gnarly. And now I'm like, I don't really do any of it. I don't polish. Right now they're polished themselves, but I'm about the nude sparkle because you can basically paint your whole foot. And you can't tell. But they're also not bear dogs. You can't have a bear dog hanging out.
And mine are. So don't look. They need to be done. I just took the polish off actually yesterday or 2 days ago Thursday.
I used to paint my nails when we worked at DuPont. I used to paint my nails almost like once a week before we went to work on Monday. Not because I like felt like you guys would care, but it was part of my thing.
Yeah.
Part of my jam.
Me too. I used to be much more diligent about it. So anyways, it's actually like kind of on my to-do list this weekend.
But it's a job to be done,
it
not
is a job.
Luxury.
Deeply.
It's not self-care for me. Getting my nails done is not self-care.
Same.
I like it when it's done.
Yeah.
But it's like a job to be done.
Yesterday I went running and it felt so good, so I kept going, and then I was like, fuck, I still gotta turn around and go back. It was over 4 miles.
The fact that I haven't had frozen shoulder in 2 fucking years, and now we talked about it, and then I got COVID, and then I got frozen shoulder again, it's literally
Well, now you know you can get rid of it. Like, you know you'll get there.
I'm trying.
Your shirt's really cute.
Thank you, Goodwill.
What else we got today?
Nothing.
Okay. That's fine. Good. Before we tap into the real tea, we've got a message from a new sponsor and a personal friend of mine, leadership coach Lisa Tarkington. Every single one of us can reflect on a time where they might have felt in a season of transition or feeling stuck trying to get to the next level of leadership and career development, perhaps shifting from a tactical execution to true strategic leadership. That leap can feel overwhelming and sometimes really frustrating, but you don't have to do it alone. So what Lisa does is she helps people that maybe feel stuck. Maybe they're battling from some self-doubt or just wishing they had stronger communication, wishing someone understood them the way that they're trying to convey themselves in certain areas of key leadership skills. Many people, including myself, don't realize that actually a coach is the one that can help you get to that next level. So Lisa is a personal friend of mine, and I've gotten to watch her journey helping people in all aspects of life, overcoming some of those skills that prevent each and every one of us from getting to the next level in our career is what she excels in identifying and then overcoming. She's done it herself, and now she's in the business of coaching others. So Lisa is an adventurer at heart. She's a guide by design. She's a certified coach through the International Coaching Federation with both corporate and entrepreneurial experience. She's going to put you first in guiding you to meet your goals and step fully into the leader you're meant to be. Here's the thing. Coaching works. 80% of the people who coach do report increased self-confidence that help them get to that next level. Over 70 benefit from that improved performance and stronger communication. The results do come through. Thousands of leaders have already grown through Lisa's coaching and workshops, and now it's your turn. So here's how you can find out. Head to lisatarkington.com/coaching and get your free consultation. When you talk to her, let her know that Jessica sent you or mention the podcast. Again, that's lisatarkington.com/coaching, because leadership isn't about getting things done. It's about becoming the leader you're meant to be. Okay, do you know what we're talking about today?
Yes.
The business of prison.
The business of going to the jail.
Well, there's not much of a business if you're going to jail, but the business of running jails, the business of keeping jails, the business of prison. So there are categories of prison. We have federal prisons. We have state and county jails. So typically, I think if you're in a county jail, it's like a temporary situation, like, you know, drunk driving, and then once you get arraigned and stuff, like they release you, and then after your sentencing, you either go to a state or federal prison, depending on your
or you go home
crime. Or yeah, of course. I mean, if you are going, if your end game is doing time, you don't end up normally, I think, like residing in a county jail, but maybe sometimes. Typically, they end up being state or federal, and that is just based on a funding thing. I was surprised to learn.
I was shocked.
About what?
When you told me that they were owned by private people.
So that's what I was going to say. I did know that I had some like awareness or understanding. I was familiar with the fact that jails, prisons do have, they're often contracted, so they had been often contracted by the state or federal government, but owned and run by private companies. However, in my research, like this was just something that I had known that existed. In my research, I learned that President Joe Biden
President Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, is that what I said?
I can't hear.
Former President Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. Do you want me to turn your thing up? Oh, you turned it down because I was shouting last time.
Just articulate better.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Remember we've been practicing that? Jessa?
I didn't think it was me that had to articulate. I thought it was you. I wasn't accepting the feedback. I didn't know it was towards me.
It wasn't.
Oh.
Not until this moment. There was no system.
President Joe Biden, former President Joe Biden, while he was in office.
You're always very clear, to be clear.
Okay, good. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I try.
100%.
But, you know, we get a little sloppy sometimes.
Sloppy, not stupid. What's the talking difference? Saturday.
You can bleed that line real close.
Dark.
I don't know. There is a line, but it's fine. He signed an executive order in one of the 2022, off the top of my head. I can fact check myself here in a second because I took note that they were going to eliminate private prisons for federal prisons. Like they will not be privately owned. They will not be privately owned and operated. They will be federal government run. They have a little bit of privately owned prisons have a little bit of controversy. Their contracts are a little bit sketchy. So
like government contracts.
They're contracted out. A lot of these, the ones that I researched, publicly traded. So to me, like
that's a conflict.
That's wild. So Geo Group was the one that I looked into. Publicly traded, so making 30% margin. And their
on every naughty human.
In their contracts, they get paid per diem. So like
not even naughty human. Are they making people naughty so they can fill the prisons? Like, is that why pot got legal and illegal? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like let's discuss
our
it.
laws. Let me give you the terms. Let me
finish the terms and then let's discuss it. So they get paid per person, the contracts, and then they would have minimum occupancy because if the jails were empty and you're running, that's inefficient to do, right? Like if you're running a prison and there's not people in it. Also, like 90% of prison, a lot of these prisons also had workers programs. So, and they may or may not get paid for the work that they're performing while they're in prison. So privately owned, publicly traded, minimum occupancy rates that don't get much lower than 80%. The average or the majority was around 90% occupancy rates. So the state has to pay, or the federal prison, whatever it is, state or federal, has to pay these companies, even if there's not people in them, or they were guaranteed the occupancy rates. And then on top of it, like they make the prisoners work and then they don't really get paid. Like kind of fucked up. Just saying.
So,
okay, so what do you think?
Privately owned prisons, are they on every level? Federal, state, and county?
I couldn't see any evidence that President Trump has renewed any private prisons except for ICE. So we'll talk about that. A majority of ICE detention centers are privately owned, but federal prisons so far that I can see, ICE detention centers are privately run and contracted by the government. States can still choose to have these these non-government organizations running their prisons if they choose. Michigan currently, since we're in Michigan, has 0, but if the Baldwin facility opens as a ICE detention center, it will be, it has always been a privately owned.
Okay, step back. Out of all of the prisons in the world, do we have any idea if there's 10 of them? Are one privately owned? Is it 1 in 10, half? Like, do we know? Give me the data.
In the world, I don't know, but that was what so in the United States in 2022, before Joe Biden said,
pre and post, we got that. Okay.
Yeah, because they essentially, the private prisons essentially went away.
System.
Yeah, so only even at the in 2022 when he wrote the executive order, only 8% of people who were imprisoned, which is like about 1 million people at any given time, were at private facilities. So many of these facilities are like run by the government, which I think there was a version of me in the past that was like, government is so inefficient and privately owned companies would do better. But now that I see how the systems work and what's incentivized, and if you're a publicly traded company, it's a huge conflict of interest. And I think it's...
Do you think it doesn't matter, just
boils in corruption?
At the end of the day, it just wonders, like, who is the head of the ship? And it can be private, public, and anything in between. And if you don't have any values and you're corrupt,
if you
you're
weren't
fucking
publicly
corrupt.
traded, I think the publicly traded piece is, like, extremely upsetting. Just because you're incentivized then to your shareholders to grow.
So
what
if
does
you're making
grow mean?
$150,000 in the government, you might not be incentivized to get any more than that, but you're not also incentivized to really change anything. Like, the government's the government too. I'm just saying, like, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
You've always been really critical of the government. So what's the answer?
And I think no matter what we're going to find, like, it's stirred up here for prisons. I don't really think, like, I think the topic of prisons is just simply...
I need to know.
It's always going to be a little fucked up.
about how laws are made relative to the sentencing of incarceration. And then I can kind of back my way out of that. But, like, are laws made specifically so the government and
I think that's messy and depends on... So, like, Montana, for example, 50% of their imprisoned people are at private prisons. They might have fewer per capita people imprisoned.
or more private prisons relative to the rest of the country.
Yes, they do. They do have the most private prisons relative. Yes,
Montana?
correct. Yes, Montana does. And they're known to be, like...
Like, how many? Like, if 8% in the country, like, are a lot of them, like, out west?
And more in the South. So, like,
South.
Mississippi, Alabama. The GEO Group I looked into because they are the company...
The GEO Group?
They own the Baldwin facility, the Baldwin, Michigan facility.
Tell me, that's what got me back it up. What's the Baldwin, Michigan facility? What's happening? What's
Okay,
ICE?
so
Tell me
that's
the
been
things.
there for some amount of time. Like, it's been there for years. It is one of the poorest counties, or is the poorest county in all of Michigan. There's not much to it. There's almost nobody there.
A fish
either.
shop. Isn't there a fish shop?
A fish shop? Probably, yeah. I mean, there's a BP gas station, and I think certainly a Dollar General or two.
Yeah.
And a detention center. So it has been, it was at one point a state prison, I think. It is owned by the GEO Group. It is now being considered reopening as an ICE detention center. And that's about all that I know about that particular facility. But here's what I can tell you about the GEO Group. You asked, like, what's the perspective, like, what's the ratio of kind of public and private in the whole world? I don't really know that. I said in the United States, it was about 8% of imprisoned people before it was kind of banned from a federal perspective. So that is even fewer now. The GEO Group has almost 100 U.S. secure facilities. That's 70% of how they do business. Like, their business model is owning and operating secure facilities is what they call them, which are basically detention centers. They have almost 100,000 beds, plus other re-entry or detention sites. They have operating in Australia, South Africa, and they offer, like, prisoner transport services. Those are they call it a GEO Care division, which I think is kind of funny. Those are things like electronic monitoring. I think they work with I think it's a government contractor for, like, security, if you will. And that's 25% of their revenue. They make almost 30% gross margin. At least half of their business is with ICE, but they also work with U.S. Marshals, some amount of state business, and then some amount of other international business, not a lot.
So it says Baldwin, Michigan is a village in Lake County known for its abundant lakes and rivers, making it a popular destination for fishing and outdoor recreation.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's why I said fish shop.
Okay. 90% of the people in ICE custody are held in privately run facilities. If you are just, like, a regular bad person who goes to prison not for where you came from, but because you actually committed an actual crime, well, I shouldn't say it that way. If you are somebody who has been convicted of a crime and has been sentenced to prison, then you're most likely going to be in a state prison. It's like, by and large, most people who go to prison are, like, 90% of them are going to be in a state prison versus a federal prison. And states can choose whether or not they use privately owned facilities or not. And like I said, Michigan, by and large, does not. But if Baldwin does open, it's not opening.
And the thought is that it could be a ICE.
It would be used as an ICE detention facility.
Where did you learn that?
It's like, it's
public knowledge.
Yeah. It's just reported in the news. I do think, like, if we were just going to put like an opinion on it, if they weren't publicly traded, I could say that like maybe a privately owned company is more incentivized to operate efficiently. Like, I might not be so judgy. I don't know. But a publicly traded company running a prison, like, I just really
know that's not true.
I think that's kind of nuts. What I can say is that the companies that we look at in this podcast, efficiency or not, like, we don't necessarily always get to see behind that glass, but we can see what they're incentivized by. So when you are responding to your shareholders, and your shareholders and the investors can see that maybe you've got some troubles within your business, now all of a sudden, all they care about is like, how are you improving your operations? How are you growing? How are you going to find more revenue? And when a prison operator is trying to grow more revenue, they're just trying to own more prisons and get more heads in beds, literally. That is their business model. That's their business model. That's how their contracts are set up. Like, if their contracts are structured differently, then maybe I could think differently. But that's what I had found in the research, is that contracts are by amount of people that you have in capacity, and you have a per diem rate that you are provided, like, it is within the contract, and you have a minimum threshold. So if there's less than 80% capacity, you either still get paid for it, or like there's a breach of contract. I don't know what really happens, but like there's a floor. So they're incentivized to imprison people, basically, is what it looks like to me.
Very sketchy.
Okay, do you want to talk more potentially sketchy things? This is one of the most controversial topics, if we want to move on, in prison, which is prison work. So I know you said before on the show that you want prisoners to work.
I do.
What do you think about, like, what should they be doing? What do you think they are doing? Like, what's your perspective?
Anything. I think that I've had terrible jobs in my life.
Should they get paid?
No.
Oh.
Maybe paid in terms of like a credit in your, you drink regular milk versus powdered milk. You get to train other people. I think it all has to do with like, there's something to be said psychologically about your willingness to do things when no one's paying attention. There's nothing in it for you. That's life. Yeah. So if you're in prison, like, I don't know. I think there's levels to that as well. Like, if you're a convicted child molester, like, you already know my opinion. I don't want to pay for you to be there.
Yeah. Oh, and we didn't even talk about how much it costs to be in prison. Okay, so let's tap on that.
So much fucking money. That's why I was
like, do you know? Tell me.
More than what?
I was like, shoot him. Jesus. Okay. Okay. The child molesters.
What is the difference between someone embedding your embankment versus hurting your child? Like, I think hurting your child would be a much bigger difference, especially if you knew the truth to be true. Yeah. So just shoot you and floating in the fucking river. So I don't want to pay for you.
How much do you think it costs?
Over $100,000. A lot.
In Michigan, it's $65,000 per year for it.
So, and the median household income in this state is not $60,000. So you are more protected and more taken care of, or the idiots who own it, the government or the private people.
The average salary for a corrections officer is less than that.
Correct.
The most expensive incarcerated state, but also the least incarcerated per capita, is Massachusetts. What do you think it costs to incarcerate somebody in Massachusetts a year? You're gonna die. You will fall on the floor.
Over $100,000. It's so expensive.
It's almost $400,000.
Why?
It's like $370,000 to incarcerate per year.
So you rape a child, and everyone's in full agreement, even if we're not. Like, we don't. I don't want to pay for it. I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm
not gonna try to convince you otherwise.
That's where I'm very right-winged in my belief. Mm-hmm. You know, you hurt babies, you shoot people with but there's also like black and white isn't black and white either, and I understand that.
Yeah.
So I'm certain in this country that if I wasn't a white privileged lady, that maybe like my opinion wouldn't be the same if I didn't have somebody that I loved between death row and $400,000 a year. Like, I realize it's a very controversial opinion. But I would say generally that if you know us and you know the integrity of me, It's a lot to keep people safe who had no regard for anybody else's life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not going to convince otherwise. And I actually don't really have, I don't have a, like, the only reaction I really have is we have a history in America of incarcerating people for even small crimes, like,
marijuana.
Right.
I mean, years and years and years and years and years and years and years.
Prostitution.
I'm being dramatic.
Like, just for having sex. Like, I mean, right. So you're not being dramatic. Like, people are incarcerated.
We have a history for incarcerating poor people.
Correct. And
with probably doesn't in disproportionate levels.
Yes, correct. And it's a weird and complex thing. We didn't get into the business of that. I'm not here researching anything other than, like, once you've been convicted and you are incarcerated, how does that whole system work? So I don't have I just simply acknowledge, like, that is a super complex topic.
Before you even get to the who's incarcerated, where are they from, and what is the streamline in that?
So then when I start getting to, like, death row topics, I always worry that, wrongly convicted. And then, like, I'm atheist. Like, I'm not even sitting here trying to have, like, a moral high ground. But where that comes, like, my values don't come from, like, some sort of greater judgment on the other side. It is like, oh, if we do this to somebody who is innocent, what does that make us in our life today? Like, how does that really, who are we really? And I just think that I don't trust the people who are in power to, like, right now, I honestly feel like there's a regime in charge in America who is ready to incarcerate. There's people who really think that the Democratic Party is the enemy of the state and they want to start incarcerating people. So then it goes both ways, though. I don't think the Republican Party. I don't think that Democrats want to, like, start incarcerating Republicans just for being Republicans.
You don't?
I don't. When I talk to people.
I'm not judging. I'm straight up asking you.
No, like, I don't see that. I don't see that.
Not martial law. We're not, like.
No, but the way that our actual president talks, he is saying that. That's like, there's open discussion about, we will imprison you just for being in my way. We will imprison you for, they call Democrats the enemy of the state. It gets dangerous. So I don't care what party you belong to. If you also think that, if you are a Republican and you think the Democrats would incarcerate Republicans just for being Republican, then we probably should be a lot more cautious on the death penalty, because we're going to start, if that's the case, we're starting to put incarcerations based on political parties. Like, they're going to start
penalizing nothing to do with the political parties. It has to do with the crime you committed.
Okay,
and your impact on the human being.
But then in one of the Carolinas, you have to call the police when you have a miscarriage because you're hurting babies when you have a miscarriage.
In Flint, Michigan, you can get shot and they don't come. Like, the fact that police even come here is a privilege.
But my
police
point
don't
is,
actually come
if
to
we start
other
criminalizing, like, your line of thinking is saying, like, you harm babies, then you should die. Because I don't want to pay for you. So then the same vein of that, you might not believe that somebody who had a miscarriage deserves to die.
But, like, those are two very different assumptions.
I know. But, like, that whole
then
conversation.
That's where your government has to come into the crime. Like, did you hurt a living 5-year-old or did you hurt a cell?
I don't think the system is
That's where the Republican Party wants common sense to come into play.
I don't think
this country was built on common sense. Like, if you actually read the amendments of this country, like, there's just as much gray as there is black and white. No,
totally agree. But then it comes down to who's in charge, who gets to determine what common sense means. And I think, as a country, worked really well in the past. We've had all kinds of tricky situations we've been in, but in just as stirring it up, like, laying it out there, I don't think you believe any of, that connection that I was just making. But those are real consequences that are happening in a state today. That if you have a miscarriage and you don't report it, you could become a criminal. Yeah, I think we have to worry about what if, to some degree. I 100% get, we don't want to pay for child molesters to live in prison because it's expensive. Whatever. I get that.
I don't want to pay for anybody to live in prison because it's expensive. Whether you made a small crime and the government should be rehabilitating you versus imprisoning you, like that's my view. That's what I'm saying.
I get it.
Like I'd rather pay for someone I'm rehabilitating.
And I'm certainly not trying to change your mind.
Right. But I think you're not clear on what my position is.
I think I do.
I think I'm okay for the imprisonment system if it's like, okay, we need to imprison you because you need to shake back into you and we need to rehabilitate you so you can be a
I don't think child molesters can be. Yeah, I agree with you. No, I agree.
Shoot somebody in the head?
I fully see you.
Can I rehabilitate you? I mean, I don't know. If you were only known to know to shoot, again, that's not my deal. I think the prison system in general is super interesting, private versus public. I've worked for both now. Depending on who's in charge, it can be equally as fucked up.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. I just think it's tricky.
When
you're taking when you're literally creating a system to take somebody's life. I mean, I think that's kind of fucking tricky.
Choices.
Yeah.
From taking a shit by themselves to ever seeing the sunset. Like you're taking someone's.
We didn't even get to the actual controversy part.
Okay, go.
Prison work. We didn't even talk about prison work.
Yeah.
And I think we need to.
Okay.
It is controversial because it's basically considered enslaved labor. Like the critics of it call it like forced labor camps, enslaved labor. What's your take? What would your reaction be to that?
Great. I woke up in enslaved. I grew up in enslaved labor. I wore a bow in slave labor. You can put lipstick on a pig.
I wonder what Martha Stewart did in prison.
Labor.
Do you think Martha worked in prison? I bet she did.
I'm going after it. Babies. What do you want to do all day? You want to sit around?
And you don't think that they should get paid?
Credits. You get credits. You either get more time watching TV or more time playing basketball or like at that point, like there's this controversy about raising your kids versus like the punish them for doing wrong versus rewarding them for doing right. I think life's a balance of that. So
I agree.
Parents think the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with like let's pretend the 70% in prison did do something wrong. We're not gonna get into the psychological deal of how they got there or what happened. We're just gonna be ignorant in the bliss.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
If your job is to fucking take out the piss out of the toilet, I sprayed pig piss.
Yeah.
Out of 14 crates with 200 babe. I don't have any feelings about the work program either. Me neither. I have zero fucking feelings. A bunch of babies. You're a baby. Whether you're incarcerated for wrongdoing, you're incarcerated because you did it, or whether you're just a baby.
Get to fucking work. Get to fucking work. Okay, so most prisons, like 98% of prisons have work programs to some degree. There's a couple of different categories. So some of them are like clean the toilets, cook the food, like it's a part of the operations of the prison. That's the majority of what constitutes a work program. But some are actually making our license plates, or they made face masks during COVID, or
quilts.
Yes. So I'm pretty sure Martha Stewart made shawls, but I think that might have just been like a hobby in prison. I don't know if that was like a legit program.
All the things. She took over that shit.
And then this is interesting to me, and I think this is the part where the controversy comes in. Private companies, like any just regular company, can employ inmates through the Prison Industry Enhancement Certification Program. So it's a very small program. So I say it's a small program, but it's 37 states participate. So it's like widely adopted from a state level, but the partnerships are with like under 200 companies. So it's not like
not vast and wide.
Yeah, right. It's controversial because then you're working for, like a regular company, but you may not be getting paid regular company fees. I think you get to opt into these. Like I don't think this is like forced labor.
The fact that you even get to do anything here, we don't cut off your hands. Like again, like
well, that's your point. Is like rehabilitation versus punishment.
Cut off your hands. Like again,
we're assuming. So here's the other thing.
Little ninnies, regardless of how you got there, stop bitching.
I don't know that they are the ones that are bitching, to be honest. I haven't seen any like
I would love to talk to somebody incarcerated versus like all levels.
I do think some of
these wrongfully.
I think the work programs are designed to be like rehabilitating it in a positive way. Like I think they have a lot of positive intentions.
You gotta grind it out to know what.
But But I do think that like bad apples get in the mix. And I think that's where the bad reputation comes from. So then you get these like nonprofits or these advocates and these people who are trying to, you know, like
Kim Kardashian. Did you hear Kristen Cavallari call Kim Kardashian douches? She went off. I messaged it to you this morning.
I didn't read it. Yeah.
Apparently, Scott Disick private messaged her for the first time in 17 years, and she was like, Kardashian douches. So it was like, Kim, like, when you say nonprofits, like
Kim's focused on is getting people out of
wrongfully incarcerated.
Or even if they're not wrongfully, like you're spending 19 years in prison because you happen to like
unwrongfully based on your sentence, not unwrongfully based on your crime at the time.
Right. Gotcha. But like spending 19 years in prison because you like
smoke some pot.
Yeah.
Or
whatever.
You went down the street the wrong way, or someone thought you looked like too dark in an alley.
Yeah.
Right.
I know she's gotten somebody out of prison that was like, it was like a petty theft thing that somebody might have gotten 18 months or less, and she was in there for 20 years. Like, that's insane. Insane. So then in that type of case, I think also having worker programs where you can build your skills. Like, if I'm going to be sitting in prison, like if something gets me in prison, I am going to be working.
I'm going to fucking
no doubt. Like, I'm going to get a law degree or something. I'm going to become a doctor. Like, if I got hours in my day where I'm not doing all this other stuff.
Thank God. If you only made me sit in my room, you might as well shoot me. I want to work.
Yeah.
Put me to work.
Yeah, I will be productive.
Put me to work.
I will have value. Speaking of value, so most states do pay, or it's pennies. So it will sometimes go to your like concessions, you know, whatever. What I think would be really compelling is if when you did work and if it was at a rate that was at least minimum wage, but it went towards restitution, it went towards, like if we were paying people to actually
get out of the system.
Yes.
Not get them cigarettes in the system.
Yes.
Or a Kit Kat or whatever.
100%.
So if you're soaking pee up all day long, you should be getting a Kit Kat.
Yeah, and then like maybe also go towards your legal fees, like allow you to have more access to a lawyer, like give you access to tools. But like $1 an hour.
There you go, mama. I see you now. Okay.
Yeah. Like I would be a big advocate for them working, then giving them, because also if you're getting paid 14 cents, how are you also going to have any sort of passion for the license plates that you're making? Maybe you don't need passion for that, but like I am a passionate worker. Like when I apply, or when I'm trying to be of value in the world, I don't want to just be like kicking a tire around.
But if nobody ever told you what to be proud of, or you didn't, I hear what you're saying, but it's kind of,
I would do a shitty job if I was paid 14 cents an hour. I probably would.
I never, ever got paid for anything I did as a kid except for be born and live in that house. And you just did, you took pride in your work. You took pride in your work. You took pride in your work.
It depends. Like if you're cleaning toilets and you are getting paid to clean a number of toilets, like I don't know.
Your value of your 14 cents doesn't matter to you anymore. I'm going to do this job for this reward.
I'm just telling you I disagree with that. Like I know what my work output is, and if someone
as a prisoner,
because Jessica prisoner is the same as Jessica out. Like yeah, and I think you are too. Like will challenge you on that because I know how much your value is worth to you.
I don't think in prison that it's my value is in 14 cents. I think it's in my freedom of the day. So if I have to do this activity to get this reward, then I will do that. It has nothing to do with the monetary value.
But I do think we know that there are money systems in prison. Yeah. So I do think that like it doesn't go away. Like I think it still matters, especially if you get to say, you get a lawyer.
Get the good jobs? Do you think you only get the good jobs?
I don't know. I don't know how that works. Anyways, look, I'm just saying, I do think work programs are, I would do like a thumbs up to that, but I do think that we could beef them up. And I think there's more value to be added to that. And even if it doesn't ever end up being
more skilled labor.
Yeah, maybe. I would even argue like you actually don't get paid money. Maybe it's credits, but your credits is to access to a lawyer. Like you could change the system if that's what you're saying. Like if you're saying more access to a library, like the things that I do value, fine, then we're talking different stuff. But if I'm looking at it and it's $1 an hour. So the one thing I wanted to say on that though, we talked about geo
$5 an hour for one pack of Marlboros. It's the reward system is. What is the reward system today?
I don't know.
What do you got? Like Cheetos in your credit? Like,
I really don't know. I'm just saying that, like, I know what $1 is, and I know it doesn't get you very far. Like,
right, but what does 14 cents get you?
That's what I mean. That's my point. That is my point. That's, I guess,
relative to your
point.
Universe, it might be Cheetos.
And I think it's hard for us to really understand the universe until we're in there, because I do think that it's like, it's different than what we really think. And I think every prison system is different, especially if they're privately owned. They get to make these choices about how they operate them. Like, I don't know. I do want to, so I wanted to bridge like the GEO group and the work comp thing. So this is really interesting. Most of the states don't have any really legal support for like any sort of higher wage pay. But I think the state of Washington, I don't know if they officially are or if they're getting in that direction. But just August 2025, the GEO group is required to pay more than $23 million to the state of Washington because hundreds of immigrant detainees were paid $1 a day to participate in a work program, and they were sued. So the Washington Supreme Court ruled that detainees were GEO's employees, the GEO group employees, technically under state law and had to be paid minimum wage. And GEO Group is appealing and taking it to the Supreme Court. Or they're going to try to take it to the Supreme Court.
Let's go, GEO Group.
It's another example. Like, so also these are immigrant detainees. So they're not necessarily, they didn't go through due process convicted of a crime. They were picked up like an ICE situation.
They didn't follow the law to get here? Is that what?
We don't, I think in this case at the moment, like the way that is going on is that's not necessarily an obvious, like they might have followed the law to get here. But people are getting picked up because they're trying to renew their green card. Like, so I don't know. I can't speak to the condition, like the reasons all of these people are in there, but I mean, anybody can pay attention to what's going on in immigration policies today, and these are the types of people that are working in a facility because they were picked up from an immigration perspective, not because they were convicted
of by
crime, their peers in a jury of a crime. Correct. So simply just want to make that clear. But they're working, and they're getting paid $1 a day, and they're getting sued for it. The private
makes sense
facilities. I agree. I think it makes sense, and I am going to watch. I think that's going to be an interesting case to follow because I do think it's different than somebody who is convicted of a crime.
Yeah. Aligned.
Compelling. What else? Any other questions on prisons that I didn't cover?
No. I don't ever want to go to one.
I don't know. I would tour one.
No.
You don't want to tour one? Okay. Well, I'm going to reach out to some people who are big advocates on like the interwebs, and I do want to talk to other people. So we had some debates.
Like
I don't even necessarily want to go, but I want to talk to some people. So I did some research. We'll see if I can get a hold of anybody who's willing to talk. But I'll even saying it here in case I don't get a hold of somebody before this releases. Maybe we can do a follow up because I just think we debated a bit, but like. I'm really curious to someone who spends their days and maybe some more expertise. Yeah. So, just like drop a line, leave a comment, DM us.
Are you in prison?
No. I want to talk I don't want to talk to someone. I mean, I guess I'd talk to somebody in prison, but what I'm more interested in is somebody who's like thinking about these in a more comprehensive way.
I would talk to someone who was in prison who's there for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Or there because they deserved it. And like, what is their view? Interesting.
Yeah, someone who did the worker comp thing and like it worked or it didn't, because I think you're gonna have a mixture of both.
I do.
Yeah. Anyways, do we want to? I was not like clinking the prisons, but like, cheers to.
That's interesting with the format. We're cheersing to the time together, not to the subject at hand.
And they were coming out a little more informed.
Cheersing to the time together.
Yeah.
Not for the celebration of the subject discussed.
How about this? We are cheersing to the time together and to be a little more informed on the topic and to continue the discussion. Cheers. Thank you for listening to Stirred Up. If you like what you heard, please subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. Follow us on your podcast apps. Please send it to a friend. Leave a comment. Add a rating. Every little bit helps. We look forward to seeing you next week.